we have to agree that actually that is one of the most important aspects of the electricity industry, because there are many stakeholders in the electricity industry, from the consumers to the licensees and various other parties. So for them to survive in the industry, we have to collect the correct source of revenue from the consumers, because that is the only way that we get the income for the we get a source of income for the industry. And from the point of view of the consumers, really the electricity price has to be in accordance with the burden they impose on the system. So we have to be very thorough with the fundamentals in electricity pricing when designing a tariff scheme or electricity pricing scheme. The cost of serving a consumer will depend on the distance a consumer is away from the generation bus, and also at the time of really depends on the time at which that installation consumes electricity, because during peak hours we have the most expensive plants on bus, and at that time the cost of generation will be very high, and also at the same time the system will be loaded to the maximum life, so then it will be very lossy. So all those components will contribute to a higher cost of electricity. As far as the distance is concerned, really the person who will be very close to the generator, that is the transmission system, their cost will be very low, comparatively low I mean, because really they will have to really bear the cost of the generation and the transmission system. But at the same time, if you think of a consumer who is living down the system, that is in the LV scheme, then really they will have to pay for the transmission costs, they will have to pay the distribution costs, and they will have to pay the LV grid costs, and all those things they have to be accounted for. So in this way, we will be able to understand that theoretically we will be able to calculate the cost of serving electricity to any consumer in the system at any level on an individual basis. But that is not a pragmatic solution. So when we are setting electricity prices, really we really try to categorize the consumers into groups according to their load characteristics, such as the load factor, the power factor, the coincidence factor, etc. So if we really look at the domestic group, here you can see that actually their load characteristics are similar. If you take the commercial people, again their load characteristics are similar. The developed countries are concerned, they have adopted the retail model and they have the competition, and they announce the prices for generation every half an hour. But in our country, we are somewhere in between the monopoly model and the single buy model, and hence we are far away from such a system. So because of that, really we have to rely on these categories and really decide on the electricity prices accordingly.